Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Break the Ring podcast, episode 2. I'm Jonas, and my co-host.
Parker.
Okay. This week is a packed week. The first ever stinking, what's it called? BTR podcast predictions championship is on the line in the predictions for Bad Blood 2024. Today's episode, we're talking about Raw, Smackdown, NXT, Dynamite Grandslam, as well as Collision. Alright, so let's kick it off with Raw. The show starts. It's seen that Dominic and Liv are in like a lowrider, like Eddie Guerrero style car. And before they can even pull into the Flevin Arena, dude, Bronson and Braun are still wrestling. They're still going. A lot of people on Twitter were saying, you think that they've been wrestling since last week? Because people were making jokes about it the entire time.
They probably were. I mean, they looked really
This
worn
might have
out
been
when
the
they were.
funniest part of the night, though. It was so random. The show hadn't been on air for 1 minute, and they were already wrestling again.
Oh, yeah, I was
Um,
dying.
yeah, they didn't even take a second. They plow through the camera guy and break through a table. It was
Yeah,
so
and Braun
random.
Strowman's face was red too, and it made it look like they were actually wrestling since like that last week. Like they looked sweaty as heck. I mean, I know they're both like big
Meaty
men and
men,
they
yeah.
sweat easily, but
I mean, coming from two big meaty men, we know. You know what
yeah, I get a lot of bo. All right.
I mean? Oh my god. Um,
Sorry, I did not have to say that.
Parker wears a lot of deodorant, right, Parker? You wear a lot of deodorant.
Yeah, sometimes.
Um, so yeah, Liv and Dom go to the ring and they cut a promo. Midway through the promo, Rhea comes out. Crazy pop. This might have been one of her best pops of all time, besides her like return. Um, she's making fun of Dom and tells him he has no balls. And Liv is always defending Dom. Says maybe he would have stayed with you if you cared about him like how you care for Priest. Basically insinuating that Rhea and Priest got a little something going on backstage.
Probably do.
But it is then announced that for Rhea versus Liv at Bad Blood, it's not just a normal match. Because the winner will have Dominic hanging in a shark cage, right? So, oh wait, no, wait.
Hmm.
Let me rephrase this. In the match, Dom will be hoisted above the ring in a shark cage to prevent the interference, which I think is just gonna make the interference worse because, like, I'm sure
He's
we'll
gonna have
see.
brass knucks or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Like just like Jericho dropped him for freaking KO. He's just gonna drop the brass knucks or something like that. A chair.
Rhea hits Liv with a nasty headbutt to end her segment, and yeah, that promo was pretty
That was
solid.
nasty.
It was a
That
bad one.
headbutt was
It.
awesome.
I was like, dude, she might have broken her nose.
I thought she actually connected because that's what it sounded like,
It
and like
was
her head
nasty. It
actually
was.
sat
It was
back.
pretty gross.
It was, but it was good. Liv did a good job selling that.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice little moment to have.
Yeah.
First match of the night was Sammy versus Ludwig. This match was way better than I thought it would have been, to be honest, for an opener. It was actually very good. Ludwig Kaiser always
Oh yeah, I
surprises
wasn't
me.
expecting much out of it.
Sammy goes for a moonsault off the timekeeper's area, like the walls around it, and then Kaiser shoves him off the wall and into the time box. After both men return to the ring, Sammy recovers, hits like out of nowhere, just hits a haluva kick. I don't. I
That was really
was
random,
so
especially after being
confused.
down for a second.
Yeah. Gunther confronts Sammy after the match, wearing his full wrestling gear, all of his stuff, his trunks, his boots. He's got the championship around his waist. He's cutting a promo on his way to the ring. Um, he says, "I've seen enough. If you really want this more than anything else," referring to their match, then Ontario, California is the right place for it, which is where they were. Um, and he basically just says, "Nah, I'm still passing on it." Like, it wasn't. It was kind of a letdown, but if I'm gonna put predictions for this match just in case it does happen, because there's a very high chance that they still do it, but they might not
Hmm.
just because he's a good heel, and that's what a heel would do. Just be like, I feel like defending.
Yeah. I personally think that they are gonna announce it tonight that they're gonna fight. I don't know why Gunther doesn't think Sammy is a good opponent because Sammy fought him at WrestleMania and won.
That's the whole
Hit him
reason,
with the
though.
brainbuster. Yeah,
Because,
but that's what I mean. I understand why that Gunther doesn't want to fight him, but at the
yeah.
same time, Sammy definitely is like worthy of having that match.
I mean, yeah. I guess. Carlito versus Dragon Lee was, like, stale. Nothing crazy.
Ray popped out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like
Ray, I don't know
that was
where he came
really
from.
random.
He
He
just,
probably was like just like a
who's
fan in
that
the
jumping in
crowd
the
or something.
sky? Dragon Lee pins Carlito. Dragon Lee pins Carlito for the win. And probably the second highlight of the night is Miz versus Bronson. Match doesn't get to start because before the match
Braun
even starts,
Strowman
Braun Strowman jumps off the barricade and into Bronson Reed's arms.
just kills him pretty much.
Miz pulls him away, and Bronson takes a dive through the middle rope. Bronson hits a double tsunami onto two security guards trying to break up Strowman and Reed. They're left fighting off a horde of security. Double clothesline. The men fight on to the top rope. Superplex is stopped by guards. Which I was like, come on, it'll be perfect for the podcast. They're gonna break the ring tonight. Because tonight is the night of Monday Night Raw of September 30th. Where I believe it's the main event. Where it's Last
It
Monster
should
Standing.
be. If they're gonna break the ring, it's gonna be the main
Dude,
event because
I'm
they don't
telling
have
you right
time to put it
now,
back together.
if they break the ring, that's the perfect moment for this podcast, and you'll see it as the thumbnail for next week's video. There's no way. Uh,
Yeah,
what
I really hope they
else?
do. It'll be so. That'd be awesome.
I know. Oh, Strowman hits a nasty drop kick to Reed, like nasty.
I don't know how he does that. Like I understand him jumping, but him being
He's
able to
so
turn in midair
big,
and just kicking him, that's okay. Fat phobic here.
and then and
Yeah,
then
but he is a big man.
Strowman uses 3 running power slams against the security guards to end off the promo, and then a little bit later we get the whole Bronson and Braun Strowman last monster standing on Raw. McIntyre Hell in a Cell promo. This is just Drew's response to Punk's promo last week. Drew promises that he'll also make Punk bleed a lot. He says you'll suffer and feel more pain than any other time in existence. Uh, he says that after Hell in a Cell, Punk is just a man. He will break permanently. And I think this was a weak promo. It wasn't great. It was like 5 minutes.
Wasn't as good as Punk's last week.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Um, if they don't have any blood in that match, it's gonna be a wasted potential. Like I understand
Mm-hmm.
TV PG whatever, but they're not on live TV. They're on Peacock. Peacock has
Terrifier.
there's movies with like nudity on there and
Yeah,
stuff too.
Terrifier.
I'm not trying to
We
say that
all
in a
know
weird
about
way,
that
but
one
like
Terrifier
they,
scene.
yeah. All right, and
Bro, it's a
um, but
fact!
but yeah, I hope they're definitely gonna blade. I hope they both blade.
Yeah,
And
for
if
sure.
they don't, then there's gonna be Twitter's gonna be popping after that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of backlash for sure, which I hope they do main
Uh,
event, but a lot of sources are saying it's still Cody Roman versus Bloodline. And then next we get the announcement, like I said, of Strowman and Bronson Reed last monster standing tonight. Um, but after Adam Pearce is done cutting his promo, they always do the oh, "What's this? Come look!" And it's Pete Dunne assaulting Sheamus with a cricket bat. And that bro, Sheamus looked like he was actually getting killed. He was bright red.
that
He
was
was
nasty.
ooh. It wasn't crazy, but it was just him being mad because he was calling him Butch, which is kind of sad because like, what are we doing
Yeah.
with this character now? Like, he sounds like a toddler. He's like, my name's not Butch. Mm. Like, Unholy
Yeah, he's
Universe
just
is
like
Damage
it's
Control was
like
pretty
calling a
good.
toddler a different name. It's like calling a toddler like if I called a toddler named Jack, I called him freaking like Jacob, like he would get mad for no reason. That's not my name. Like, chill out.
Unholy
Well, he's a
Universe versus
butch.
Damage Control was a sleeper. That was actually pretty good. I like
I
this
didn't
one.
like it.
What? I like this one.
Yeah.
I like the ending.
Well, you said bad opinions.
It was a sleeper for like it was snooze fest for like 75% of the match. The ending was very good though. It was a lot of turmoil between the two teams. Insane elbow to the outside,
Yeah.
over the moonsault to the inside for the 1, 2, 3. Damage Control are the number 1 contenders. against Jade and Bianca. Then there's a package showing Nordic letters of PRF, believed to be Viking Raiders, the returning tag team who were injured, and I believe, I think Eric was having a child with Valhalla, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Um,
And Ivar got some. I don't think it was
Stem
back
cells?
surgery. It was like stem cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, stem cells. So I think they're gonna return as War Raiders because
Hmm.
that name's just more
Yeah, because
badass
a
than
lot of people
Viking
on Twitter
Raiders.
were mentioning that if you translate the letters that look like the English letters of PRF to Nordic letters, they spell out war. So people are thinking,
Yeah.
well, no matter what, it's probably Viking Raiders. And a lot of people are also just thinking that
Yeah.
they're going to change it to War Raiders.
A lot of people think it's Penta and Ray Phoenix because it's PRF,
I saw
but
that
I
too, but I
don't
was like, I don't
see
get
that,
that though.
especially it being Nordic. Like I can see how they say it because it's like
It's
the
like,
beginning of their names, but it's Nordic Viking letters, and they translate to war, which used to be the Viking Raiders' name. There's
mhm.
more, there's more evidence going towards the War Raiders than Viking or than
Listen, listen,
Ray Phoenix
listen.
and Penta. I'm sorry.
Whichever writer made this next match, I'm coming for you. Pause. But I'm going after you. All right. Whoever decided that for this match, New Day versus American Made, that American Made was gonna win. I don't care if it's for story reasons with Woods and Kofi. They should not be losing to them.
No, they shouldn't.
Like this is just
It
making
makes
them
no
look
sense. It's the
bad.
Creed brothers. Yeah.
And the match ends with Kofi hitting a tornado kick. Kofi tags Woods, does the outside, while Xavier's on the top rope. Chad Gable, who is playing a manager in this match, he's not legal. He's not part of the match. He pushes Xavier off, um, but Xavier lands it, and then he like pulls Gable into the ring, stomps him out in the corner. Um, then Julius Creed attacks Woods from behind. They then hit a Brutus ball for the win. No, like I don't think that these guys who just lost 6 matches in a row at this point should be winning against the New Day. Do you agree with Parker? Did Parker go bye
Sorry, I
bye?
was muted.
Oh, okay.
Um, So what I was thinking is that match was all right, but I don't know where they're really going with the whole Xavier Kofi like kind of breakup. I'm not sure if they're gonna break up. My guess is that they're gonna be really close to a breakup, and if Xavier's about to attack Kofi, I could totally see um, Big E coming out as like a little manager if he's not cleared to wrestle within the next 2 to 3 months, he's gonna find out if he's gonna be able to wrestle ever again.
I believe I heard that he had like a doctor's appointment sometime soon, right? He has to
Yeah,
get
two
checked.
3 months he has to go to a different country
Hmm.
to figure it out. Um, but I'm hoping that Big E comes back, even if it's not as wrestler. If it's a manager, that'd still be cool. Help hold them together and be able to just have some TV time because
Hmm.
nobody really hates Big E. People love him even as a heel.
After that match, I believe it cuts like backstage to a shot of like the new clubhouse for the Terror Twins, where Damien is cutting a promo. He talks about how Finn was never grateful for the wins, for the titles in Judgment Day, whether it was Rhea's title or it was Damien's title with the World Heavyweight Championship. He was always envious, never grateful. Um, no matter what they did afterwards, if Finn didn't have a title or if JD didn't have a title, he was always envious. He didn't care. He wanted the titles. Um, then it cuts
Yeah,
back.
sorry I was muted again. Um, I don't see Priest winning back the title anytime soon. I think they just did that because he had the Money in the Bank briefcase. But I could definitely see Rhea winning the title back at some point in time.
Don't spoil
But I still think
predictions.
they're gonna give Liv a longer reign. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Woods gets into an argument with Mysterio after the match. Uh, Woods and Kofi are looking to have like a little chat. They're so passive aggressive. And then Ray comes over and starts giving them advice when he says something about when I believe Woods says something about Ray should be giving this advice to Dom or something, and Woods feels like the only reason they're getting this advice is because he hasn't ever won a singles title. And then he goes, you know what? I won't focus on you guys. I'll focus on my match next week against Finn. And he goes, oh, Finn, another singles champ. Of course, you wouldn't put a guy like me, would you? And then Ray says, you know what? I'll get it rearranged. I'll have me versus you next week.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel like I understand Xavier's. I can see how Xavier's feeling with like the whole not winning a singles title thing, because everybody that he's around has won a singles title. Ray, Kofi, a bunch of people, even the people he's fighting,
yeah.
have won singles titles and he hasn't, and he feels really left out. So I can see him going to a singles title picture eventually, like the IC title, and
Yeah, I
possibly
agree.
winning it eventually.
I agree. Especially with, well, not to, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't really heard how this happens, but especially with Uso becoming the champ coming up in this next match that we're about to talk about, he has a lot of history with the New Day. The Usos and the New Day are some of the best tag team rivals of our generation, of like the 2017. They had the first ever tag team Hell in a Cell, I believe.
Oh
And
yeah,
that match is
I mean,
great.
it's really. I could really see Woods, like he possibly heel Woods, depending on the whole Big E situation. Possibly heel Woods and Jey Uso fighting for the IC title.
I would love a match like that. I think Woods is very underrated, very slept on. And I
Same
think Jay has been his
as a singles
entire
wrestler.
time. Jay,
Oh
ever
yeah.
since, like, when would you say that the Yeet thing started? Summer of last year?
Well, it's Jimmy first said it, and he actually wore a sweatshirt of it in like 2020, 2021 during the whole Thunderdome era. But I mean, when Jay really started using it was a little after SummerSlam of last year.
Yes, that's right.
Is when
That's right.
he like that became a big thing with it, like people putting waving their hands up and down.
Yeah,
That actually SummerSlam was when that started.
I do think that ever since the whole summer of Yeet, he has gotten the recollection, like all the recognition that he deserves. Because
Oh yeah,
I, I
100%.
I don't care. I always liked Jay over Jimmy as the tag team. Jay, I don't know why, just spoke to me more. Same with
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jay has
the
more
Hardys.
emotion
The
personally.
Hardys, I always liked
Yeah,
Jeff more.
yeah. I mean, it's a little different because I mean, Jeff has won singles titles like world singles titles before, and I mean, I guess that can be a reason why because we've seen him more wrestle as a singles wrestler and as a tag wrestler than we've seen Matt Hardy. But I mean, I feel like, in my opinion, the reason I like Jane more, not just because he's a good singles wrestler, I feel like he shows more emotion than his brother, which there's nothing wrong with sometimes not
He has
showing
more
emotion. Like
charisma, if
Roman
you know
never
what I
showed
mean.
emotion. Yeah,
He's got more
like
crowd
he
work.
hit. Yeah, the crowd loves him. The crowd likes Jimmy too. Everybody wants him to return, but I mean, it's just the fact that people love Jay so much they like Triple H. Paul is listening to the fans, realizing that he needs a. I'm just hoping that Triple H didn't give him the title just because Rikishi was getting upset. That
Yeah,
makes no sense. But I hope it, because then that just may mean like they don't think Jay's ready yet, and then
yeah.
that would just be like a waste of time at that point.
All right, so now let's segue into the match we have been talking about. Uh, one of the best main events of Raw, one of the best matches of Raw this year. Jey Uso versus
Probably the
Braun
best.
Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Uso enters the crowd like usual. He says, "Play my music." This is a very, very solid match. I think, like I said, one of the greatest Raw matches this year. Probably the best. Some highlights. The match was very, very fast. Both Okay, Parker. Let's. Okay, we're good. This match was very fast paced. Like, I mean, you knew it was going to be. Let me just
Yeah.
read this off. So Uso looks for an Uso splash from the top rope when Breaker leaps up to the top rope and hits a Frankensteiner out of nowhere. The crowd
Oh yeah. This
erupted for
he
that.
is He is a crazy athlete, and I wouldn't be shocked if they had him fight Gunther in his next pay-per-view match.
He
I
probably
honestly
will
wouldn't be shocked.
address Gunther next week or maybe even tonight.
Probably. Because there's only been, I'm pretty sure there's been 3 or 4 people who have beat Gunther in NXT UK and NXT.
Yeah, and he beat him in a random
Elias beat
NXT
him.
match.
Yeah, he beat him in NXT. Ilya Dragunov beat him.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker beat him in NXT 2.0.
Yeah, it
And
was just a
Sammy
random
actually
Tuesday.
beat him. Yeah, it was just a random Tuesday. And I don't think anybody was expecting that, honestly. That was a crazy. I was not expecting him to beat.
And then towards the end of the match, both men are on the outside. Uso spears Breaker straight through the timekeeper wall. He then throws Breaker into the ring where Jay hits a spear right into an Uso splash to get the 1, 2, 3 count for his first ever singles title in the WWE. He walks right back out through the crowd and gives a very emotional promo talking about how he's worked for this for the past 14 years. He's put his all into this, and he's very, very happy.
Yeah, right as he won, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I fell asleep. I was tired. Um, but I wake up, the first thing I check is messages. I have 10 notifications, and half of them are Jonas saying, oh shit, they actually gave him the strap. Like, that's what I wake up to. I didn't see any videos on it. I didn't see TikToks, snaps, spotlights, like any YouTube video. First, that's how I find out. Jonas said, "Oh my god, they gave him the strap." What? Like he was freaking out over it. It was so funny.
Bro, I went to bed because I didn't think he was gonna win. I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed happy before I go to bed sad. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to bed now.
Yeah.
I'll watch this tomorrow morning. I'm in the car on my way to school, and I start going, no, no. And my mom's like, what? What happened? And I go, they gave him the strap. She goes, oh God, not wrestling. I was like,
That's what my mom says. I always just purposely say like random stupid stuff to annoy her, like about wrestling.
but dude, I was so happy. I had a smile on my face, and then the first bell rang, and I was depressed.
Yeah, school's just a loser. Well, Jonas is a loser who doesn't go to trade school. Just saying.
I'm in pre-AP. I'm
Yeah,
smarter
because you're
than you.
a nerd.
I don't like pre-AP. I want to leave every class. Moving
wrestling.
on to Tuesday, we have NXT. Not very good NXT. It was
all right, I guess.
The best match of the night was Kalani Jordan versus Sinclair for the
and that wasn't even that good, really.
North American Championship.
Yeah, that wasn't
ending
that
of the
good.
match, Sinclair kicks Jordan out of the ring. Jordan is distracted by the no quarter catch crew. Jordan avoids a flying crossbody. Jordan rolls Sinclair back into the ring, hits a spin kick, connects with a split-legged moonsault, and retains her title. And then the only other thing that I really have here is the Perez and Julia segment. So for some reason this week decided that this was gonna be like a press conference type episode where they would have little moments where every once in a while they'd have a champion and challenger of a CW match. Which that's tomorrow actually. I just realized that. It's good NXT.
Yeah.
They would have the champion and the challenger of the CW debut matches come and they talk about press conferences and then they get like some questions and stuff. They weren't that good besides this one. Juliet asks Perez, did you ever ask yourself what happens when I beat you? Roxanne just says no because it's not going to happen. Then you hear a new voice, and it pans up to the Jumbotron or like the Titans are on the screen, and it's Stephanie Vaquer. Yep. She's making her debut. Her question is for Perez and Julia. What are they going to do when she's on the other side of the NXT title? Which I don't know how I feel about that because it doesn't have any storyline other than just I want the title.
Yeah. I saw a lot of tweets so I've seen a lot of tweets about like because I know there's just mainly WWE fans and AEW fans like and then there's some of both like me and Jonas. But I see a lot of tweets of like AEW like, oh, where's the story in this one? and there's no defense for WWE fans for that because there is no story. She just shows up on the screen and just decides she wants the world title, which is understandable. I mean, who wouldn't want a world title shot randomly? But I mean, it's just I feel like they should have built maybe to a little build up,
Mm-hmm.
at least like a little like a few hints backstage, maybe like
Mm-hmm.
Julia on the phone or something like that.
They had
But
been doing a lot of stuff with Julia where they'd had this is gonna be your next challenger and your next challenger, and it was never Julia, but there had always been these hints that were building up. And
yeah,
so once she had that last match, which I believe it was like a gauntlet match that she wanted everybody from the New Japan, like her company, she wanted everybody from her company to come out and have a chance to beat her. And then once that happened, I was like, all right, it's gonna be any week now. Then
yeah.
when I was watching No Mercy, Let's Go Black, I'm like, is this Julia? And it was. So it this at least Julia's side has story, but Steph she just showed up like out of nowhere, and is now gonna. I'm guessing after the CW show, she's gonna start appearing. But I don't
I
know.
hope she does.
She's a good wrestler. I just don't know why they're doing it
Yeah.
like this.
I hope okay, sorry, hear me out. I know a lot of people don't like Joe Hendry because they just think he's all about
Joseph.
like hype, whatever. But I really hope that I'm pretty sure his contract ends sometime in May, like early next year.
Yeah.
So I'm praying he's probably gonna sign with WWE, and I'm hoping
They're gonna
that he gets
steal.
in the world
Sorry,
title
but they're gonna
picture.
steal Hendry. They're gonna steal Jordan Grace.
Oh yeah, that's gonna suck too, because those are like pretty much your top female, and almost your top male, one of your top three males. Like that's gonna kill TNA, but at the same time,
I
I'm
have a
pretty sure
feeling
their
it's gonna
deal's
turn
gonna
into
be over by then.
WCW, and they're just gonna buy TNA. To be honest,
I could see that, but at the same time, like I could see TKO buying
if it gets to the point of
WWE
like, if it gets to
or
the point of
TKO
the
buying
other,
TNA.
if it gets to the point of the other companies, I definitely see them just buying TNA if they go
Oh yeah,
bankrupt.
100%.
Then we're moving on to Dynamite Grand Slam. Danielson versus McGuinness start the show. This is believed to be McGuinness's last match fully, never wrestling again. McGuinness comes out, which he did come into Oasis, but they weren't there playing it for him.
I really wish they were there playing that. I
Their
would have
tour hasn't
gone
even
crazy.
started, so it makes sense that they didn't.
That's true.
But McGuinness enters the ring. Danielson's old music and package plays, and he doesn't come out. Nigel then demands that the ref counts to 10, and he becomes the new world champion. At the count of 6, Danielson's newer package with the final countdown starts playing, and he walks to the ring. The match was very good. It was a very callback, like history heavy match.
Oh yeah,
Because they did the thing where they bash their head into the pole and all that. The
yeah.
match ends when Danielson has McGuinness in a lapel lock, and after fighting and fighting, McGuinness is sitting there and he just goes, "Thank you," and then he taps out.
Yeah.
After
That match was
that,
pretty good.
Christian's music hits, who he is the reigning defending next AEW champion.
Hmm.
As he goes to sign his contract, which Kip Sabian, I don't know, it's so dumb. I don't know why they keep pulling him out of nowhere for storylines. He
Yeah.
comes from backstage and steals Christian's pen so he can't write down his name. As
Hmm.
Christian goes to chase Kip Sabian backstage, he runs into Pac and Claudio.
That was interesting. I personally think. Sorry, I'm getting far away from my mic. I personally think that eventually, he's gonna do like a thing where he tries to. I guess I'll just say cash in because that's
Yeah.
basically that. He basically tries to cash in, and one of two things is gonna happen. Either Danielson's just gonna have like a crazy comeback and just beat him somehow, or Darby Allin's gonna come out and help save him, and that's how he's gonna get him this match with Danielson, and that's how he's gonna win the title. He's gonna
I
be like,
do.
"Oh yeah, I helped
That's
you."
yeah. Well, I don't even think he's gonna have to make the point that he helped him. I think Danielson will just give it to him.
Probably. I mean, Danielson's a nice guy.
Um, this next match was pretty good. It was Hook versus Roderick Strong, which I like both of these competitors. Hook is one of my favorites. I got to see him at Big Business when I went. And then Roderick Strong's on the Rampage. And oh my god, for a second, can we just talk about Roderick Strong's finisher?
It is. Gee, I can't. Like, it's hard to explain. It's just.
So gross. It looks like it would actually kill you.
It's
And
it's
listen,
hard to watch.
I love Hook so much, but I
Hmm.
don't like that he's a submission guy. I hate
Yeah.
submission endings because I've been there when they end like it and it sucks because you don't even know that the match ends until you hear the bell ring. Because I went to Survivor Series War Games in Boston in 2022,
Yep.
which I don't even know how I went. It was Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey. Shotzi tapped in like 10 seconds, and it was just a boring ending, a boring match. I wanted a refund after that thing, but luckily it was the best War Games ever.
Like, the
Bloodline
War Games match was
versus yeah, it was pretty sick.
awesome.
Um, Hook makes Roderick tap in the red rum, but the best part of this was that Hook walks over to the commentary table, talks to Shivani for a little bit, talks about the history of the FTW Championship, and says he'd like to retire the belt, and hands it over to his father
Hmm.
Taz.
Yeah.
Taz was crying. Like he wasn't wearing his sunglasses before, and when they came back from ad break, he had them on, and you could tell that it meant a
Yeah.
lot to him.
Yeah, and I'm really happy that he did that with I'm really happy that he did that with his dad,
Mm-hmm.
cuz I feel like, I mean, his dad must be, I can imagine how proud his dad is of him, you know? So I mean, I'm really happy that Tony let him do that with his dad, let him have his moment with his dad.
We can't forget about probably my favorite match of the night, which is Young Bucks versus United Empire, Osprey and Fletcher.
Mm.
Before we get anywhere into the match, agree or disagree? Kyle Fletcher during the Aussie Open was being held back by the other guy.
I agree.
Dude, I hated Fletcher when he was in the Aussie Open. He was
Oh,
so
same.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's the blonde hair. I don't know if it's the red skin that he turns into the Red Hulk. He's just better now.
Yeah.
Also, Osprey is probably one of the greatest AEW wrestlers of all time. Wrestlers, period.
Oh yeah.
Um, Towards the end of the match, Fletcher looks for a power bomb, but it's reversed into like a face plant where the Buck does the splits. You know what I'm talking about? Where he like
Yeah.
pushes his head in. Osprey then 630s him. Then the other Buck hits Osprey with a random Canadian destroyer. Osprey no sells it, gets right back up, and hits a hidden blade. That sequence was nasty.
It was. I love I love the hidden blade in general, just like the move.
Mm-hmm.
But the combination that they were able to do with that just made it just chef's kiss, you know what I'm saying?
He's just he's so good. All men are laying on the mat, and then afterwards, United Empire hits a double Styles Clash. Osprey as the legal man hits a hidden blade and a Stormbreaker, but the pin gets broken. And I was like, dude, come on, we just got robbed of like the greatest tag team of all time. Like I would have gone insane if Osprey and Fletcher were the AEW tag team champions. Uh, United Empire hits a TK driver, and Matt kicks out at 2. A Coriolis, but just a 2 count. Fletcher hits a top rope brainbuster, and the Bucks break up the pin. Uh,
That
after
brainbuster I loved. I like the
I can't stand Don Callis. He doesn't do anything for storylines.
he's just sitting there. I just find it funny at this point.
Um, after United Empire can't get the job done, Callis hands Fletcher the screwdriver. As he goes to use it, Osprey holds his arm back and gives the ref the screwdriver, literally going, "Here's the weapon. I don't want it," and he gives it to him. Both members are then hit with the tag titles, but Fletcher somehow, someway finds a way to kick out at 2. The Bucks then hit double super kick and an EVP trigger for the retain. Who's gonna beat the Bucks, Parker?
Sorry, say that again. You cut
Who's
out a
gonna
little bit.
beat the Bucks?
Dude, I don't know. I it's just most of the reason that they have won their matches because I'm an EVP, do this, do that. They're just using their position as, which isn't a bad strategy. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good strategy, but just the it's just I don't like how they have to use that to win. Because if they were to fight almost any tag team like normally, they would probably lose. I
Mm,
just don't like how they have to use their position in the company just to get a win.
yeah. Uh, then we go to one of Prince Nana's best performances as a manager. Uh, the title for the promo was Prince Nana gives an update on Swerve Strickland. This promo was way more than I thought it ever could have been.
Oh yeah. Well,
Uh,
especially because of that little surprise.
yeah. So Parker wasn't watching. He forgot that the show was on. So, one sec. I'll pick up the story again. So Nana comes out to Swerve's music, does his little dance, does little bit of crowd work, doing the Who's House. Um, and then Nana starts to actually get to the point. He reveals that Swerve is not physically cleared to come back. Soon after, Nana is interrupted. So it's MVP.
Oh, yeah. I
So I start
Jonas
texting
texted
Parker.
me.
I'm like, dude, Parker, oh, and he's like, what? And he goes, oh my god, I forgot it was on. He clicks on and he goes, MVP.
Yeah. I had some business to deal with, but
MVP says that he thinks
anyway.
Nana was a bad manager, and that is the reason that Swerve lost his title. MVP wants to talk business with Swerve. He
Hands
gives
him a
Nana a
card.
card. The card, if you zoom in on it, it says Hurt Syndicate. This is leading fans to believe that Shelton Benjamin possibly and Bobby Lashley will soon join MVP. Many are calling for Swerve versus Bobby at Wrestle Dream, which I do not disagree with.
I don't, but it depends on how bad Swerve's injured. If he's injured like really bad, I'm not sure if he'll be back by Wrestle Dream.
That's
But
true.
also, I feel like it would be
But
hard
it's
in
also
what?
in Washington,
How far away?
his hometown.
Yeah,
Like his
how
home
far away
state.
is it? Or no, how long? How many days?
I think it's like October 12th or something.
Yeah, so let's say about two
I
weeks.
think it's the
Like
13th. I think it's a week after Bad Blood, which is this Saturday, and then it's a Sunday because it's an AEW pay per view.
yeah, so it's
Let me look it up.
two
I'll look it up.
weeks for Bobby to debut, Swerve to heel, and for them to build a story long enough for Bobby
Oh no, it's a
to be his.
Saturday. It's the Saturday. It's next Saturday, the 12th.
Oh,
So
so
yeah, I think they're doing the Saturdays so that way they can actually compete with like WWE.
yeah, I feel like they're not gonna have enough
Which
time to be
don't
able
get
to
me
get
wrong, I
Swerve.
love having Saturday pay per views because I
Oh yeah,
love wrestling, but I also like to not feel like a slug the next day at school.
yeah. Um, I feel like they're not gonna
Just
have
get
enough
closer.
time in 2 weeks for Swerve to heal, Bobby to debut, and then for them to build a story around them. Unless they just have this thing where Swerve has a mystery opponent and Bobby comes out.
Yeah, I mean there is a chance.
Like
Uh,
maybe like Tony comes out and is like, "Oh, your opponent wasn't able to make it today. We were gonna reveal it tonight. He said he won't make it next week, so he can make it at Wrestle Dream, and you'll figure it out then."
then it is Mariah May versus Yuka Sakazaki. Before Mariah gets into the ring, Yuka leaps over the top rope to ringside, wiping out Mariah. As soon as Mariah is in the ring, Yuka goes for the pin. I think he got like a 1 count.
Yeah, it was funny.
To end the match, Mariah gets a Storm Zero. Which it's still every single time she wins her matches, it's another clue for Tony's return, which shouldn't be for a
Yeah,
while. It shouldn't. She literally left all in after she lost.
yeah.
Um, Mariah aims to hit Yuka with the women's title. Willow's theme hits, which I'm all for. I love Willow.
Oh yeah.
Then Mina Shirakawa comes out, distracts Willow, allowing Mariah to use the title on Willow. I really hope that Willow does win the championship, but I doubt she will.
I hope she does too. I think she deserves it. She's been a good talent. She's been loyal to AEW. I hope she does, but I don't think Tony's gonna have her drop it that quick. Because Mariah deserves a long title reign, and we still need to see that celebration. I'm just saying. Sorry, I had to.
Parker loves Mariah May. Mariah May, if you see this, Parker wants to marry you.
And Bailey.
Uh, yeah, Parker told me something last night. Glad I can't repeat it. Um, the match that, or the main event of Grand Slam was Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley. Winner is the number one contender for Danielson and his title. Within minutes of the match, Darby is bleeding like crazy. His mouth is like, I think it was like on the side of his cheek. It was cut like all the way here, looking like. A lot of people were making jokes about Sting Joker and then Darby Joker.
I saw a lot of those jokes on Twitter.
Did you? Funny. Oh my God! Mox hits an Irish whip into corner, and Darby flies outside of the ring. Like
that cell was crazy. It's like Ricochet in his indie days.
I don't know what he did. Darby shoves Mox's arm into the. He like. Did you see when he took off the top part? He shoved Mox's arm down into the post, and then he like kept he kept punching his arm. Yeah, you're good. Let's get back up. Where is it? Oh. Yeah, he shoves his arm to the ring post. Attacks his arm a few times. Then Darby hits a coffin drop from the corner to the outside. Darby looks to use a chair when Marina Shafir stands in his way, stealing Darby's attention and allowing Moxley to get back up. Moxley is sitting in the chair that was pulled out by Darby earlier. Then, out of nowhere, Darby hits a flying dropkick through the middle rope to the outside. Marina Shafir then takes the opportunity to expose the wooden boards on the outside, ripping up the mats ringside. Darby reverses a paradigm shift, sending Mox into the steel steps. Darby launches straight into the boards through the middle rope. Mox slams Darby's back into the steps. Darby's coffin drop is reversed into a chokehold inside of the ring. Darby fights and fights until he makes it to the rope, forcing a break. Moxley reverses a superplex into a Death Strider Rider. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Moxley is the number one contender. He'll have a match against Danielson at Wrestle Dream.
I was honestly expecting him to win, personally.
Yeah, I get it, because I think they're seeing the success of Danielson's run, and because Darby is going to end his run apparently. A lot of people are saying that Darby's supposed to win the championship, which he does deserve it. He has been doing a lot of brutal spots and work.
Oh yeah.
After the match, Moxley is celebrating the ring when Danielson sneak attacks him, choking him out just like a couple weeks ago at All Out. Claudio, Pac, and Shafir come to help Mox, but they are stopped by Private Party and Commander. Danielson then cuts a promo, and he says, "This is war." And then it is announced for this last Saturday that Claudio, Pac, and Yuta had a match against Private Party and Commander for the Trios Championships. We're gonna head on over to Smackdown, which I did not get to watch the first segment because I was at a carnival fair type of thing.
With a lot of food. Sorry.
I saw a lot of wrestling shirts there, actually. I saw like a good amount. Towards the beginning of the day, I saw a girl in a CM Punk shirt. It was his AEW shirt.
Did you get her number?
She was like 80.
80 or 8?
18.
Okay.
That's too old, man. She'll get arrested. She'll be out cougar.
Oh, whatever. Sorry.
Rhodes. Let me see. So I believe It was Randy comes out, says he wants an explanation, and then KO comes out and says he wants an explanation. And then finally, Cody comes out and explains to them why he agreed to team with Roman. Before he can
You got it mixed up a tiny bit, but it was Randy came out, wants an explanation. Cody comes out, then KO.
Oh,
You said KO, then Cody.
well, whatever. And then, like, before he can talk to Kevin, the Bloodline interrupts, leading to an intense confrontation.
I'm taking it all.
And a main event match. The best part of SmackDown, and we can all agree on this, Andrade versus Carmelo.
Awesome match. They can't.
This is their
They
sixth
never
match.
ever have a bad match.
Before the match starts, Andrade is seen backstage talking to LA Knight. They are speaking on their match the week before. Andrade tells LA Knight that where he is from, it is respectful to shake someone's hand after a match. Andrade tells Knight that he has lost his respect. As LA Knight looks to get a word out, he is blindsided by Hayes, leading into Andrade versus Carmelo. Number 6. LA Knight emerges at the end, hoping to get retribution, which they keep using the word retribution in everything.
Yeah, that's interesting.
For the backstage attack that he suffered, the U.S. champ involvement allowed Hayes to steal a quick pin. After the match, Andrade was visibly annoyed with LA Knight. That cost him the match.
Yeah.
Uh,
The match was awesome. I
was probably my
can't
favorite
think
match.
of one way they can ruin their matches. I hope they have a Extreme Rules or like no holds barred at a pay-per-view for their 7th.
They should do like best 2 out of 3 falls.
Or that.
Or like an Iron Man match. That'd be nasty.
That would be cool. I can't remember last time WWE had an Iron Man match.
Yeah, I don't think they have done one in a while, to be
I
honest.
know they've done one. I just don't know when.
They haven't done one since like 2014, probably.
Yeah, probably when they turned like fully PG.
Yeah. Then there was Naomi versus Bayley in the number 1 contendership match for the title that Nia Jax holds, which I'm pretty sure is the Women's World Undisputed Championship or something like that.
Yeah.
In last week's episode of SmackDown, both Naomi and Bayley pinned the Undisputed Champion, Nia Jax. Together, they were the number 1 contenders. Bayley and Naomi have to have a match to settle who the actual number 1 contender is. I don't like that Bayley won this one. Bayley had her chance, and I think they should have given it to Naomi at this point. Because
I guess I can agree.
like Naomi.
I'm a Bayley fanboy.
know.
I mean, I know this kind of sounds biased, but I mean, I do feel like Bayley might deserve one more rematch. But well, SummerSlam was the last pay-per-view, or is that Bash?
No, that was Bash.
Oh, okay? If you can edit right now, edit the picture of Bayley's face on the card. What did they do? Have you seen that?
Where?
I sent you a picture, and her face is so deformed.
Ugh.
Yeah, like, what is happening?
Why does she look like that?
I don't know. They definitely had to, like, edit her cheeks and stuff.
Ew.
I know. Like, if you zoom in, it looks kind of normal, but if you go back, her smile's all big and stuff.
What the heck? Yeah, so to end the match, Bayley hits Naomi with a Bayley to belly. Well, she hadn't used the Bayley to belly in a while.
Yeah, I think it was Survivor Series, one of the last times she used it.
Bayley to belly, flying elbow combo to pick up a victory, earning the title shot towards Nia at Bad Blood. Michin versus Piper Niven. I think this match is better than Naomi Bayley. And it was 5 minutes. Leading into the dumpster match this Friday against Michin and Chelsea Green. Michin faces off against Chelsea Green's partner, Piper Niven. Green accompanies Piper to the ring with a trash can in hand. Green distracts referee. Niven misses her target when she attempts to cannonball Michin into a trash can. Michin quickly takes out Green and hits Piper with Eat Defeat for the win. I hope that Michin versus Chelsea is a great match and that the dumpster part actually plays a key factor into it.
It would be fun.
The main event of SmackDown is Orton and KO versus Solo and Jacob Fatu. Tama Tonga and Tongaloa interfered in a key moment that brings Cody Rhodes out to the ring to even the odds. After Kevin Owens hits a stunner on Solo, Jacob Fatu throws Rhodes into the referee's leg, causing distraction in preventing a 3 count. Moments later, Solo steals the win for the Bloodline. Kevin Owens once again not happy at all with Cody Rhodes. Uh, it was close to a turn. It was really close for comfort.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that stopped Kevin this week was Randy. Randy stepped in and got him to calm down.
I really, really hope they actually do this and don't just pull like I forgot who it was, but they teased the heel turn that ended up never happening. I still can't think of who it was, but Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. They haven't
Yeah,
done
they
anything with
haven't done
that.
anything yet.
DIY when Tommaso didn't shake Truth and Miz's hand after the match they
Yep,
had.
that's true.
So I hope they don't do that, but at this point I feel like they're too far in to all these hints and all like the teases of it that they can't not do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They also have Kofi and Woods that they're doing right now, so who knows?
Yeah.
Collision Grand Slam was arguably way worse than any other show this week.
Oh yeah. I saw some reviews on it. I heard it wasn't that
The
great.
show starts with Jamie Hayter versus Soraya. I missed a little bit of the show too because I wasn't home when the show started, so I only
Me
missed the
neither.
first half of this match, but it wasn't that great. So, Jamie Hayter versus Soraya rules match. Nothing crazy. Um, there was a spot where Harley Cameron was breaks her back on a wooden table. Jamie Hayter hits a jumping tombstone to win the match. Best match of Collision. Hi
Oh yeah.
guys. Dude, that
You look
gimmick is
like an
so good.
idiot doing that.
Hi guys.
That gimmick is awful.
It's so good.
It's just so funny.
Conglomeration versus the Learning Tree family.
What is that name? Sorry. Me and Jonas haven't talked about it on the pod. We've talked about it outside of the pod. What is the conglomeration?
Let's
That
look
is
up the
the Pure
definition.
Fusion Collective of AEW. I'll look it up right now. Can I? I'll read it out.
A number of different
Conglomeration.
things.
The
Grouped
act or
together.
process of conglomerating, the state of being conglomerated, an accumulation of miscellaneous things.
I think it's because you have Kyle, who's like a serious technical wrestler, and then you got Briscoe, who's just a brawler, and then you
I
got
called
OC,
him. Oh, I
who's a
can't say that.
joker. Yeah, you can't see that one.
I
Then you
called
got
him Crack Pirate.
then you got Willow, who's the woman of the group. Um, and then
Hmm.
now you have Rocky Romero, who's like the luchador of the group, if you want to count him as one.
Yeah. I just looked up conglomerate. To form or gather into a mass or whole. To conglomerate is to form together as a group. So apparently any group can be called a conglomeration.
It's just funny to hear Briscoe say it every week. You go, "Deglamoration!"
Conglomeration.
Codebreaker with a steel chair. Pin is broken up by O'Reilly. OC sits Jericho in a seat and starts trading kicks with O'Reilly. Keith is then thrown into the chair too, and they start kicking the stacked opponents, ending with a double drop kick. Big Bill hits a double clothesline onto O'Reilly and OC. Mark Briscoe spot, which I just call it the Mark Briscoe spot. It's when he takes the chair and he does the collapse with it, and then he puts it down, and then he runs up and does the flip. I just call it the Mark Briscoe spot.
Yeah.
Then, what else? Let's see. Mark Briscoe spot to Jericho on the outside. Briscoe grabs a table from under the ring and puts it inside. Jay Driller to Jericho, which is a nice little homage to his brother. Briscoe climbs to the top, but is chokeslammed by Bill into the table for Jericho to pick up the win. Jericho taunts that he wants a shot. He goes like this. He wants a shot at Briscoe for the ROH
Yep.
title. Action Andretti versus Brody King sucked. It sucked. Brody
I
really just
watched it.
won.
It wasn't a good
It was a
match.
squash match. Then the Righteous come out to stop Top Flight from attacking Brody Lee, which I love Top Flight, but I also love The Righteous.
Yeah.
The Jack Perry TNT Title Open Challenge. They do his little thing where it's wait, Parker, stop for a second.
My fault, my fault. I was just typing in something more about the match.
Alright, we're good. Perry arrives on his bus to do the thing where he's driving over the Brooklyn Bridge. His challenger from New Japan Pro Wrestling is Minoru Suzuki. And me and my brother immediately go, so how is he winning this one?
Yeah.
So Jack Perry hits a spike DDT to the outside and wins by a count of 10. It was a bad victory, but it's fine. But this was my favorite part. Jack Perry starts attacking Suzuki after the match, leading to the return of Shibata! Dude, Shibata is so good. I love Shibata.
I love Shibata.
As a result of Danielson's attack onto Moxley on Wednesday, Pac, Claudio, and Yuta have a match against Commander and Private Party. Pac and Claudio come out together in a new package with music that we've never heard before. Yuta doesn't come out until after the two are already in the ring. Yuta forces a tap onto, I think it was one of the guys from Private Party, but doesn't let go for a while. The Triple Lucha match was a little bit of a letdown for a Lucha match. Hologram wins the match, which he's still undefeated. Rush comes out after and forms a group with Jalistico and Mortos.
Yeah. I really like Hologram. I'm going to be honest, when I first saw him come out, I thought he was Ricochet, but then I put some more thought into it. I'm like, doesn't have tattoos. Looks like he's a little bit bigger than him. But I honestly thought that it was Ricochet before I, used my common sense.
Yeah, I was hoping it was Ricochet for a while, but we still got Ricochet at the end. Then we go to the MXM Acclaimed jacket redesign. After showing their models off, it is time for MXM to show the redesign done to Max Caster's jacket. After a reveal, the masked model is asked to touch tips and join MXM. It is then revealed to be Billy Gunn, leading to a rampage by the Acclaimed. The main event, the only good match, Jeff Jarrett versus Hangman Adam Page, lumber strap match. It's a lumberjack match, but all the lumberjacks have straps. So the first half of the match I didn't get to see because Collision broke. It said I forgot what it was. It was AEW Collision, and then it showed the date, and it was part 4. And then it skipped to the part that we're supposed to be at. Juice was potatoing Hangman with the straps. It was bad. Hangman looks to give a receipt, but Jarrett jumps to the outside. Karen Jarrett gets in the way of Ringman. Gets in the ring and gets in the way of Hangman. Threatened by Hangman with the strap. If you don't get her out, I will, he says to the ref. Jarrett uses a strap of his own on Hangman. Lumberjacks surround Hangman on the outside and use their straps to lead him back into the ring. Back in the ring, Karen is getting revenge. She hits a low blow she gets her revenge. Then Hangman hits a low blow on Jarrett into a Deadeye for the win. Bang Bang Gang try to save Jeff Jarrett and take him out of the ring, but then they get jumped by Hangman. It is then announced that for Dynamite 5, we will have Juice Robinson versus Hangman. Okada versus Sammy Guevara Continental Championship. Okada retained with the Rainmaker.
Yeah, it wasn't a great match.
Sucked. All right. So,
last part.
Let me text my brother real quick to grab me my jig. So 1 second. So for predictions, I have a little something for whoever gets the most predictions right. And I will be writing this down so we can keep track of
so nobody cheats.
Score. Yes.
Alright. What's the little sum?
So, this is the Bad Blood predictions for BTR podcast. Alright, so we're going to start off with Finn Balor versus Damian Priest in an ordinary match for hate reasons. I'm going to take Finn Balor here. I think Finn
I was gonna take Finn as
deserves.
well.
I think Finn deserves that win that he's been missing for a while over Damian. He's been just getting set back. Um, and
Yeah,
yeah, I
and
mean
Finn has the whole Judgment Day
he's
to
been
back him.
losing a crap ton and hasn't been winning at all. Damian and Rhea both won.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the. I need to do a little remodeling, but for now, this is the BTR Predictions Championship.
Nice.
It,
Almost as big as your stomach.
it's bigger. Um, yeah. So
What'd you say?
this is the Predictions Championship.
Hey, don't put that on your shoulders yet. You ain't won that
my
yet.
bad. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Put my belt away.
Whoa, not your belt, but okay.
Stop. Yes.
So whoever has the more correct predictions from each pay-per-view will become the champion. It's a little piece of fun taken from Stash Club Wrestling, taking inspiration from. So I'm going with Finn Balor in this match. I think he needs to win more, and I think that if Damian wins this, it's over because Damian wants his revenge, and Finn just wants to make Damian hate himself. And for you,
I
Parker,
believe the reason I think Finn's gonna win, one, is because Finn just has the whole Judgment Day, Carlito, whatever. People are gonna help him. Two, I also don't see this. This is just gonna like schedule right into our next match. I don't see Finn and Rhea winning in the same same day. If whichever match is first is gonna depend which match is gonna win next. Because I don't see Rhea somehow winning the title, and I don't see Damian losing like right after. I don't think it would make sense. But I also don't see Damian winning and then Rhea losing the title. Damian's in a great mood, Rhea's not, and they're together. It's just gonna be kind of weird. So I see both of them losing. That's honestly just going into our next match.
Next match, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio suspended above the ring in a shark cage. This is for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. I'm going with Liv Morgan here. Liv has to win this match or else the feud between Liv and Rhea ends. If once Rhea gets that championship back, she's done. She doesn't want Dom anymore. She just wants the championship. There's nothing more in the world anymore that she wants other than the championship.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't see both the Terror Twins winning, like both the Terror Twins having a different outcome in their match. So I just don't really see Rhea winning the title in general, especially Dom definitely gonna drop. It might not be brass knuckles. It could be a chair. It could be a kendo stick. It could be a tack for all we know. But I mean, he's gonna do something, distract Rhea, distract the ref. Something's gonna happen to where Liv can use a weapon to be able to hurt Rhea.
The next match is Bayley versus Nia Jax for the Women's Undisputed Championship. I'm taking Nia Jax here, but in a technicality, if Nia Jax retains, then I think no Tiffany cash in. If Nia Jax loses and Bayley becomes champion, Tiffany's cashing in. I think Tiffany becomes champ if Bayley wins.
I see that. I don't see Bayley winning.
You want Nia Jax too?
I think Nia Jax is going to win only because, well, I mean, Bayley could win, but I just see Nia hasn't had a world title run in a while, so similar to similar to Liv, I see her holding the title for at least for a while until at least 2025, just so she has that good amount of time to prove herself as a worthy champion to the producers and to the story writers.
Yeah. The next match we're going to talk about is if it happens, which we are going to say Sami Zayn versus Gunther. I have Gunther. If this happens,
Yeah, I don't think either of us have Sami.
I don't think that Sami would win. He just lost his title, and he also beat Gunther before. I don't think they're just gonna have it be a copy of, WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't. I can understand why some people might think Sammy's gonna win, but I mean, I could totally. I just no chance Gunther loses. I mean, Gunther. The only reason Gunther lost at WrestleMania is because he had the title for 666 days.
Yeah,
It was WrestleMania. You know, you see a lot of titles change.
I think that
So
WrestleMania was the
I
right
think
time for
it's.
him to lose it.
Oh yeah. Same thing with like a lot of title reigns is that depending on how long they go, if any title reign goes over a year, I believe that they deserve to lose it at WrestleMania.
Yeah. The next match, and it's in a toss up. I'm putting this in the order that I think the matches should be, and that is Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I personally have the Bloodline. Um, I don't think that Roman is gonna. I think that somehow, some way, Roman and Cody are still gonna be enemies at the end of the day. They're not gonna be able to work out things together. They're not gonna be able to see eye to eye, no matter how much they say they will. They're not gonna have each other's backs, no matter how much they say they will. The Bloodline's gonna overcome with some type of distraction or interference, and maybe even The Rock shows back up. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay. Well, it's not going to be a tie. I have Cody and Roman winning. My reason is I still don't think they're going to work well together, but I still see Roman being professional about it and Cody. I see both of them still being able to work together. And I can see KO and Randy coming out if like the Tongans come out. I'm just gonna call them the Tongans, Tongaloa,
Yeah.
Tomatonga.
Tonga.
I yeah, I see them coming out obviously, but then I see Randy KO coming out just trying to help him out, and then I see like one of them being like, "Oh, I helped you out. Give me a title shot."
Yeah, I mean that is a
Similar
possibility.
to how Cody gave KO,
That is a
but
possibility.
it's not gonna tie, and I'm gonna win the belt, and you're gonna be cool cry in your little corner.
Um, my pick. That's the main event. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Hell in a Cell. um,
Punk's gonna win.
yeah, Punk's winning. If he doesn't
Punk's
win,
gotta win.
bro. Drew has played his best character being a heel who has lost all of his matches. If Punk loses his first feud back, what's he gonna do? He's gonna go into a downward spiral and still go after Drew. Drew will take
Oh
this
yeah.
loss and he'll just use it against somebody else. He'll use it as fuel. Punk, on the other hand, will use it as fuel on Drew still. So I don't think they
Oh
should
yeah.
do a Carmelo Andrade where it's a best of 18. They should
No,
just end
they
it
shouldn't.
here and have it
Best
be
of three.
Punk.
That's how a lot of like big time feuds go. It goes like one person wins one, but then the other wants a rematch. Then that person wins the rematch. Then it's just a toss up on who's gonna
Um,
win. There's two
also,
toss up
so
matches too.
Parker, go ahead and talk about your interaction with Dante Chen.
All right, guys. So I love Dante Chen. He's my profile picture. Probably one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
What's
They're
his?
gonna think
Wait,
I'm.
wait, wait. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's his finisher?
I fucking know. um, you gotta bleep that out. Just for it to be funny. Um, so I'm on Twitter and I see this tweet about Nikita Lyons having a house show match. What was that?
I
And
hate Nikita.
I see somebody's hand raised and it's his gear, right? So his hand raised and I say, "Hey, I think at Dante Chen deserves some love too." And the person who got the credit for taking that picture retweeted me, or not retweeted, they replied to me and said, "Here's the full picture. I believe Dante Chen deserves love too." And then there's like two more tweets just saying like saying how much we love Dante Chen. This guy responds, "Thank you for the love. I appreciate the love, Parker."
Here it
And
is.
I am going
Will
crazy
will
over
it
it.
focus?
Probably not.
Probably not.
That's the Dante Chen
There it
account.
is.
All right, it focused.
Appreciate the
All
love,
right,
Jacob.
now
Is right
click on it.
there.
If you click on it, you can tell he doesn't have a lot of followers. He has
Yeah,
8,000,
no, that's him.
but that's his account. WWE follows him.
That's him. Parker, question. Hoko's this week. Who are you going with? It's not me.
No one.
I'm going with my
I'm saying back.
Xbox.
I'm watching the Lego Movie, dog.
Alright. Alright, that's gonna be it for the second episode of the Break the Run podcast. We appreciate it for watching. Like, subscribe, comment your favorite wrestler of this week. Parker, got any last moments, last words?
Um,